I'm gonna find out how to minimize this, make my face smaller. I don't think you guys want to see my face all this big. Alright, yes, so here we go. And I should have this figured out for next time, but here we go. So, this is the position I'm in. He played off like 6 pawn moves and 2 minor piece moves. I'm just gonna get castled, and my thing went away. So I have an idea. All right, here we go. Okay, so I'm over here now, and he's playing more pawn moves, which is terrible for him, I think, because I don't have a piece that wants to go here. So I think it's bad. I'm just gonna play my rook to e8 because that needs to happen. Yeah. I can even like take this knight and try my pawn. Well, that like really messes up his pawn structure. I can put my knight up here on e4. Um, I'd like for this bishop to be gone so I want a pawn, but I think that just this is good. I'm thinking about either f5 or knight to other knight to f6. Um, Need to get my bishop developed, but I think I'm in a pleasant position. I'm also looking at queen c7. Really eye this pawn. I don't know how he can even defend it. Unless he can't really defend it unless he brings his queen out. Um, yeah. Yeah, like I'd almost say that I have like a one. How I almost say I have a one position right now because I don't, but it's close. And he doesn't have any other way to defend it if I put the queen here. I don't see one. Maybe play like queen here, looking at checkmate, but I have this knight coming in here. Or I can play f6. Um, like this move. That's pretty good. Um, he takes, I can take back with the queen. Really eye up on the king here in the middle of the board. Hit the rook. I really like that move, but I'll look at my other stuff too. I don't really want to trade off, even though my knight right there would be pretty good. Play the knight over, rook over. Kind of busted. I think 95 is the way to go. Move forward from here. Where does his queen go? Okay. 95. I'm gonna take with the queen for sure. If he captures, gives up his bishop pair. I'm hitting the rook. Yeah. See, now knight here is really good because also it develops a threat here on this battery. Although, maybe knight here. Hit the rook. If captures, I capture back with check. Then I can take this with a rook, but he can defend with the king. Yeah, I think that's the best move right there. Although, maybe I can even play like bishop to here and then d4. Or maybe d4 then bishop to e6. Hmm. Yeah, I don't really like the rook coming to e2 lines, so I'm just gonna play my knight over here, try to cash in while I can see an advantage for me. Yeah. Like, I'm not up in the material, but it feels like I am because how bad his pawns are. Look at these garbage pawns here. Um, and these are all stops, and they look advanced, but I'm actually the one with the protected pass pawn once this e pawn falls, which it's going to. Um, Now, how do I keep the pressure going? Oh, I can play e5 now, or d4 now. Sorry. Um, if I play d4, it comes past, take. Yeah, I like that move. d4, I think it's good. I don't like that this knight is only defended by my queen, though. I wish it was defended by like a pawn. If I could like prop it up with a pawn right here, that would be awesome. And then it would just be winning, but um, okay, so now that's just bad, I think. Because now I can prop my rook up here on this. Yeah, I'm just gonna go through with this. Um, well, he did take off this diagonal from my bishop, which was pretty good. I wanted to get my bishop there in the future. Um, oh, and he is hitting this square right here, f7. So, that's pretty good. But I'm gonna trade queens and then leave him with a bad position, and I can get my knight in, and bring then I can get my bishop. Maybe I can get my bishop's having trouble developing, but if I could get this rook over, that would be absolutely crushing. I do have this knight check, or I just want to leave that knight check there. Just play like a move like bishop b7. Or I could, no. I like bishop b7. Yeah, I think I want to save this knight check for when I have a good follow-up. So, bishop d7, try to get my other rook into the game. I'd like to get my rook up here and here, because that would we checkmate, but. So like I said, I'm on lichess.com. I feel like lichess. I'm definitely like rated better on lichess because like 1833 is not what I'm rated on chess.com. And I don't know what the reason for that is. Maybe it's just to make people feel like they're better than they are, so they want to come play at lichess as opposed to chess.com. That's horrible. What? How can you play that? Doesn't that just lose like a lot of stuff? Okay. Show me your cards. Take with the bishop. I can double. And I don't think that this bishop here is very good either. Should I just keep pushing this pawn in? That'd be pretty good. I think I just want to get my bishop to good squares. My bishop is my least active piece, so a lot of times in chess I find it useful to try to activate your least active piece or improve your least active piece. And now I'm on this awesome diagonal that his bishop so kindly left me. I'm thinking bishop to a2 because that defends this, because then he'll drop the knight. And he doesn't even have any good squares to put his knight to, and if he does, it makes that threat go away. Yeah, I think that's the move. So white has essentially just played down a piece the whole game because he left his rook on or his knight on b2 for 24 moves. So if you're not using all your pieces, it's like you're down a piece because you're not using a piece. Oh, so he wants to bring it to this square. His knight up here, and then knight back this way. That's pretty good. I might just take it and then just push my pawn in. But I'd like to find a way to keep it. Maybe I'll just push the pawn in because that keeps the pressure and stuff, and that takes away this square, so this little thing here doesn't work. Then I can put the bishop behind the pawn, support it. Even though it's on the wrong side of the pawn, you'd like to have your. I'd love to have my bishop right there, which actually is a good plan. Bishop here, bishop here. Because then it's bishop here, attacks this pawn. So now, where are you trying to go? You trying to go here? Oh, you're trying to go there, do like a little Novotny and leave me without protection of my pawn. So that's pretty good. How do we stop that? Do we stop that? My bishop back here, he can trade. Then I'll be able to play this move potentially. I'm getting kind of low on time, so I'm just going to play it. I'd actually really like it if he goes here, because I'd like to trade this rook for 2 minors. Then it would just be a rook and a bishop, and a super awesome pass pawn when his king's cut off. Um, oh, okay. So, all right. This is a little bit concerning. He has these ideas here, making a pass pawn, but these are. I have two pass pawns. They're doubled, but there's two of them. I think my king. This is like 1, 2, essentially 3, 4 moves, and I would have 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. So I'd be able to catch it. That's bad. Can't I just do that and like lock up the pawns? I'm actually gonna try this cheap little checkmate trick thing here. No, he can go backwards. He can go back to the first rank. Okay, I'll just play a6. Um, the checkmate pattern I was talking about was playing here, and then I would have check. If he comes up, then I have this other rook coming down for checkmate. But he can go back to the first rank. So, I don't think that's very good. But I play f6 because that's pretty good too. Yeah, I like f6. Yeah. I don't really see any other squares he has that are any good. Putting his knight there. I like this check. But I also like the idea of getting this rook up here, threatening this pawn. But as long as as long as these are all blocked up, and if he makes any advances, then I would gain a pawn. So he doesn't want to do this over here. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna talk less and just play more because I don't really want to get into time pressure and lose on time. I'm not really very good under time pressure. I think this is more of like one of those situations where the threat is more dangerous than the execution. Yeah. This knight is pinned, so that's why I can do this move here. I'd really like to go here. Yeah, even if I lose an exchange, I can turn it into a queen. And then once he takes, I take, and then it's just a rook. He can take here, which I didn't see, but that's fine. Then I win this pawn back, so it's just a trade. Go ahead and pre-move that. Okay, it doesn't let just light chess doesn't let you pre-move certain captures. Okay. Yeah, let's get another awesome pass pawn. A lot of times people just play check. They think it's like well, I don't know what to do, so I'll just play check and annoy my opponent, but it really just helps me get my king more active. Yeah. This is my next predicted move. Oh. Well, resign was probably the best move to play there, so um, I'm going to go ahead and analyze this game. And I like to flip the board. If I can figure out how to do that. Flip the board. Well, that's not. I guess that doesn't really matter. But okay, so C5, C4. I don't have a good um, line against like the English. I want to just do like my typical queen pawn stuff, like knight up to here, but then they would have to play d4 though. But when they don't do that, when they just play like knight c6, I'm kind of like at a loss. Like, then they just like avoid playing the d pawn, and then I'm out of. Anyway, that's not the point. The point. Um, so with this, I like to be able to play like this stuff. Then we can trade the c pawns, and I'll just have a regular, typical d pawn game. But I don't think that a3 is really any good. Because I don't have any piece that can get to here right now, and he's already played that move, so I'm not gonna try to get a piece there and put it there. I thought e3 was a good move though. Let the bishop protect the c4 pawn, so if I take, he gets to develop with tempo. I'm not gonna do that though. I just grab the center. And b4 was like a dare, like a kind of like an aggressive queenside expansion thing. This isn't quite what I was expecting, but so then he attacks my e pawn, and I defend it with the bishop, and he played the highly predictable c5, and I put my bishop back. And in these kinds of positions, I think that you get a lot of like this move, this. Then you can even take, and then he has an awkward pawn on c5, and you can maybe play like d4. I mean, sorry, yeah, it's a c5, but you can play like d4 and oh, okay. So he plays d4, and now he wants me to take so that he can unlock this or open the eyes of this bishop here, which I don't do. And as soon as he plays the knight here, my idea is how I'm going to need to get a rook to here to pin it to the king. And he's also playing really slow moves. I think the h3 is the bad move. Like, there are positions where like h3 and a3 are good moves, but it's normally pretty easy to play against people that play like the a3 and h3 in every game because, or even like a6 and h6, because you basically have like, you're playing a position where you have like extra moves, you have an extra tempo. So, and then knight g3, I just saw a really good opportunity to mess up his pawns. Right here, I wonder if playing like bishop to e5 was any good, because he doesn't really want to. I guess he can just leave it there because it's defended by the queen, even though the e pawn is pinned to the king. But like, yeah, if I did do this, it would just be like hopeful chess, like where I'm just trying to. I'm just hoping that he'll take me so I can take him back and have like pretty aggressive stuff. But that's actually, I'd probably put the knight there. And most people aren't gonna trade a bishop for a knight just for nothing. So I just grabbed it and I just messed up his pawns, which I wasn't sure about, but it ended up being a really good um, strategy to use. Then my knight gets this beautiful square here on e4. And if he ever like brought his knight here to contest it, I would reinforce it with the other one. Queen f3, he's got to defend g3. I keep piling up on g3, defends it. I thought this was a pretty good move because the queen's got like it's running out of squares, and then taking I think was pretty bad. Like he gives up his bishop, gives me an attack on his rook, and he could have just moved his queen, I think. But honestly, this threat, while sort of significant, he also can just sidestep with bishop with rook g8. So I think now's a good time to put the rook or put the knight on g3 and hit the rook. And there's like a lot of other times in my chess career when I would not have found d4. I would have just found like probably just like taking the bishop with the knight, which is terrible. But I'm getting better and noticing that playing d4 is the way to go. When you have the pressure, you want to keep the pressure. You want to open lines against your enemy's king. And I thought bishop c4 was a pretty good move. Even though it was probably just to get it out of the way of the knight so we could keep the bishop. Maybe he wanted to give this keep my bishop off of this diagonal, which is good. So I just take, and then I wanted to keep this here like safe or like prepared for later, so that I can use that when I have a good way to follow up with it. So I just play bishop d7, which I think is a waiting move, but it's a useful waiting move. My bishop's not really any more powerful here than it is here. It's just not in the way of this rook. Yeah, that move, I think that was probably like an oversight or something. Probably wanted me to take with a rook and then like trade down evenly, but I don't have to. I just take with him. And at this point, he should probably resign, but it's actually good for me to learn how to convert these positions because I'm not the best at converting games like this. A lot of times in tournament chess, I'll be up like an exchange or a couple pawns, and I end up losing the game because I'm not the best at converting. So it's good for me to learn how to. Bishop f3, looking at this awesome pawn wall here. I don't know why he did that. Maybe it felt like it would give him some cover for his king, and maybe he could get out this way back here to h2. I guess that's valid. And he attacks my pawn. Just a few moves here. Defend my pawn here. This was annoying because I really wanted to play this idea, but I never got that to happen. I had to just trade the bishops. But this is a pretty winning position. And then I think the a5 was kind of got rid of his chances for counterplay. I can just close everything down with a6. And oh yeah, f6 to keep the knight out. Pretty good. Now, king g3 is probably a pretty good idea. Get your king out of... there's some dangerous checking ideas you don't want your king involved, or king to be in. And then this stuff I can just... There's probably a more precise or accurate way to get this stuff, but I just saw that this works because I can just simplify everything. And then a rook versus a knight with a couple extra pawns is pretty much crushing. Yeah, there's not really much hope for him because this pawn is falling, this pawn is queening, this pawn is queening, this pawn is queening, and then 3 queens and a rook versus a knight is not easy, and you're not going to win that game. So, all right, well, that was this game where I'm fighting to become an expert. This is my road to expertdom. All right, well, see you guys.